Whew. Okay, everybody. So this is like my introduction to making a YouTube video. So my name is Alicia. My handle on YouTube is ALAZUAN Alizwan. I guess I'm coming on because it's just some things that I just got to deal with, and whatever it is. So okay, so I had weight loss surgery September 29th, 2012. My highest weight, or when I had surgery, day of surgery, was 306 pounds. And today, January 31st or February 1st, whichever one you want to call it, I am 251 pounds. I'm a slow loser. I ain't mad. It is what it is. It's better than being 306. So, got the numbers part out the way. How do I feel about weight loss surgery? Well, me personally, I never thought that it would be something that I would take on as a point to help me with weight loss surgery. But I noticed that unfortunately I was a yo-yoer. I would go up, I would go down, I would lose, and then I would fall way off the wagon, and then I would shoot up again, and then I go down, and then I'd shoot up again, and then I go down. For me, it was one of the best decisions that I made for myself. Not because I want to be skinny mini, not because I want to be, the hottest thing running this earth. Ain't got nothing to do with that. It has a lot to do with the fact that since I have had weight loss surgery, I no longer take my blood pressure medicine. I no longer have to take naproxen, which was my arthritis medicine. I no longer have to take a water pill. I no longer have to take a heart pill because my heart was having a hard time handling or dealing with the excess weight. So, with that being said, I think it was one of the best moves that I made for myself. Complications. Ooh, have I had some? Okay, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to make a video. And I mean, I could be one of the few, or I could be one of the masses, whichever one. I don't know. So I had my surgery in August. I haven't had a problem. Now, mind you, I have had 2 surgeries through my navel already. But apparently this one didn't want to do so well. So after all of my other incisions healed, I noticed that my navel was not healing. It was just like still really tender. And I'm just like, okay, this has been 3 months. All the rest of them are fine, but this one is just like still really sore. So when I went back to the doctor, it was just like, okay, well, let me put you on some antibiotics. Maybe it could be a little slight infection going on. Okay, fine, cool, not a problem. Took the antibiotics. Everything started healing up. I was like, all right, great. We figured out what the heck going on. As soon as I was off the antibiotics, I started noticing that it started getting really tender again and getting really sore again. And then it started to pimple. And I was like, why is this coming? Then it bust. And it started letting stuff. I was like, oh, this is so nasty. This is nasty. So, me being the hard-headed person I am, oh, I'm going to fix it. So I start trying to take care of it myself. Thinking, okay, well, I'm going to fix it. Well, it didn't quite fix. It didn't work out. So this last visit that I went to the doctor, I finally just like bucked down and I called them. I was like, look, something ain't going on right. I'm sorry. She was like, well, what's going on? So I explained. They pulled me in early. Um, she numbed me, cut it back open, and this is all in their office. Didn't see anything wrong, so she stitched it back up. And I was like, okay, well, hopefully that'll work. She also gave me another round of antibiotics. So all of that, took the antibiotics, $40 antibiotics. $40. That was hard for me to even swallow. But I took the antibiotics, not a problem. So after the antibiotics, and I'm just like, okay, it's starting to heal up. It's starting to, get like, it wasn't even really a scab. It was just like looking like skin. So I'm thinking, okay, well, this might have been the kicker. Maybe she, restitched something on the inside and did whatever. So I was off the antibiotics for about 4 days, and I noticed the pimple had started coming back, and it was like really, really soft and really, really tender. And I'm just like, dang, what the heck going on? So I was like, you know what? Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. So I let it go, and I didn't like really, really think that it would be anything bad or anything like that. So this last time, I I was just like, you know what? Now it's starting to hurt. Now it's starting to get uncomfortable. It's starting to get, my clothes don't feel good, and I was just like, dang, this don't feel right. So I go to the hospital, and after I explain what happened at the hospital, I'm gonna tell you how that made me feel. Okay, so I go to the hospital, and I'm me, the type of person I am. I don't like to complain. So when I went to the hospital, I was all jokey. I was like, "Oh, I got a pimple on my navel, a bubble in my belly." And the triage lady, she was just like laughing because I guess she thought maybe it was cute, you know. But when I got there, she, when they called me up, she was just like, "Oh, well, let's look and see, just to make sure you don't have a hernia." And I was explaining to her, listen, I had bariatric surgery. Such and such happened. This has been going on for a little bit. This is what happened. She was like, did you call your surgeon? I was like, not yet. I was like, I just want to make sure that it's not something, that I need to take care of like right now, right now. If it's not something that I guess is so bad, I guess I could be okay with waiting. But I guess they kind of caught me off guard too. And I'll explain the way that I tripped in the hospital. So I ended up going to the back, and I saw this doctor. I don't even want to say he was a doctor because let me show you. He touched me like this. Oh, yeah, you have a hernia. And he just like barely touched me. And I was like, okay, so now you figure, I have a navel hernia. Oh, people live with that all the time. It's nothing emergency. It's an elective situation. You can get it fixed if you want to. If not, you can live with it. Wait a minute, dude. My damn, excuse me, my stomach feel like it's about to like rip in certain spots. And I'm just like, it hurts. It's red. It's hot. It's really, really tender. And you just act like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. You you don't touch a person like this and just like barely touch them. And yeah, you may have diagnosed me correctly. I'll give you that. But don't dismiss the fact that I'm telling you that my stomach, my mess is hurting. Oh no, this is something that people live with every day. It's absolutely fine. You don't have to worry about it. You could, if you want to follow up with the uh, intestinal gastro, whatever the word was, he was just like, you can. It's nothing major. I was like, are you serious? Hold on, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that my intestines are coming through my stomach walls and that's okay? That's okay? You're telling me that that's okay, that people live with that? Well, people may live with that, but this person does not want to. I was like, okay, so do I have to worry about infection? You ain't even addressed the fact that because I'm telling you I have a pimple, that it could be an infection going on in there. You ain't even addressed that. You was just quick to dismiss me. Oh, it's nothing. People live with it every day. It's nothing. I was just like, well, thanks. So, okay, I was mad at that point. I was really, really angry at that point. And Ray was just like, just call your surgeon tomorrow and explain what happened and do it from there. Apparently they're not going to do anything, or you want to try another hospital just to make sure, because you never know. I could have had an infection going on. You didn't even address that. No blood work, no pee sample, no nothing. You didn't even address that. I could have had an infection going on, but did he care to even check and see? Not a bit. None whatsoever. Well, there's really nothing that we can do for you in the emergency room, which and that's fine. I wasn't expecting you to cut me open in the emergency room, but you could have just made sure that it was okay. If I needed an antibiotic, maybe even wrote me a prescription for an antibiotic. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? I could have had a fever, which I didn't at that time, but it was just the standoffish way that he acted with me. It really, really just like ticked me off. It really, really did. Look, you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid. So it don't matter whether you help me for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or even 30 minutes. You're going to get paid. So just give a little bit more courteousness to my health, not because I'm here in the emergency room, but because I'm here in general. So I was just like, you know what, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go because I'm getting ticked off. So then the nurse comes in and she tries to explain to me again that this is not an emergency. That's not considered an emergency. All you have to do is just massage your intestines back in. Look here, lady. I don't have MD behind my name. I don't know what I'm doing. I ain't never had a hernia in my life. I've only known that my niece had it and she had to have surgery. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you telling me that that's not important and that's not an emergency does not sit well in my head, because if my intestines are hanging out of my stomach wall, that's not right. I don't care how much in an emergency you say it is or is not. I just don't think it's right. But either way it goes, I called my surgeon. I told them what happened. They was like, okay, well, you come in at such and such day, look for this sign, look for this sign. If anything starts to go wrong, if you start having this, if you start having that, call us. We'll admit you. Other than that, when you come in to see us, we're going to go ahead and fix it. It's just a little small surgery. If it's not a major damage, you know, we can fix it and you'll go home the same day. Cool. I was just like, okay, thank you. Thank you for explaining, because the emergency room dang show didn't explain. And even if they did attempt to explain, just passing me off as like one of those ones that are over the top. Oh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I got a fever higher than 98.6. I need to be in there. No, no. I don't go to the doctor unless I really, really have to. But aside from all of that, I feel a lot better because I actually did get the chance to speak with my surgeon, and they made me feel more confident that it's not something that I really had to worry about. It's just the emergency room did not make me feel comfortable about getting this taken care of. You don't dismiss a person's health. And for anybody out there that has had any problems or complications, all I can say is just don't dismiss your health. it might feel like it's something simple. And honestly, I probably remember when it first started, because like 2 days in September, I missed work because it felt like my stomach was ripping. And I was just like, okay, well, maybe I worked out too hard. Maybe that's what it was. It could have been. It really could have been. But I didn't think that I was working out that hard, but I could have. You never know. But aside from that, everything else is pretty, pretty decent. Like, I wrote down some of my hardest issues. What are hard issues for me? Hard issues for me, what would be a hard issue for me? A hard issue for me would be, um, I can't say sweets. Not a big thing about sweets now. Just recently, after I left the hospital, I ain't gonna lie, I was so ticked off. I just needed just a minute of comfort food. And I bought some junk food and ate some of it and gave the rest to my kids. And then for another hard issue, um, trying to get in the exercise. And this really sucks now because my nurse practitioner and the surgeon suggested that I don't work out. And she was like, if you do minor stuff, nothing that engages your stomach muscles, nothing that stretches or bends or so. I'm gonna try to go walking a couple of days with my daughters. Nothing stressful, nothing strenuous or nothing like that, just to go walking. Um, but the easiest thing that I'm so proud of myself for is the way that I eat. My eating habits have gotten so much better. I have learned how to incorporate packing my lunch. That is always a plus. Um, when I first started, and one of the reasons why I probably was losing so slow is because I was eating too many calories. And it was stuff that I would think, oh, well, in my mind, it's healthy. But I'm not calculating what the actual calories say compared to what the package says. Because, like, for popcorn healthy. Yeah, it wasn't too healthy because I mean, like, for me personally, I would I used to I did share popcorn with the lady at my job only because I didn't want to eat the whole bag. But if you think about it, a cup of popcorn was the natural popcorn that I used to use or used to eat was like 100 and maybe 120 calories for a cup. And I probably was eating like maybe 2 to 3 cups over a period of time. And I guess I never did think about the fact of what I was taking in compared to what I was working out. So I started using this calorie counter that, takes into account of what I eat, my exercise, and everything. So it kind of made it a whole lot easier for me. But I'm proud of myself for being able to make the adjustments, like to cut out things. I was a lover of pasta, bread, not really rice, but mashed potatoes and things like that. The starchy stuff, cakes, and that's about it. I ate stuff that I knew wasn't good for me. And I mean, like, now I'm so proud of myself because I can buy certain things for my kids because I don't want to cut them out on certain things. And I pack my lunch. I pack snacks that I know are good for me, and like my nuts and things like that. And I do still have some things that I probably, or like other bariatric patients will say, oh, I wouldn't eat that. But I would. I eat what makes me happy. I eat what makes my stomach happy. You know, there are some things that I've tried to eat following, by what other people eat, and it don't make my stomach happy. And there are a lot of things that I cut out. And it's not because, oh, well, I'm a bariatric patient, I gotta not eat this. No, I I learned there are some things that are healthier. There are some things that are not healthy. There are some things that are good for you. There are some things that I personally should just not eat. And once you find your happy spot in this situation or in this weight loss journey, it becomes your happy spot. And for me, I just had to make it my own. I watch a lot of videos. I watch a lot of videos. And I still go back to some of the original videos that I watched before I even had weight loss surgery, just to see if it's maybe something, I missed, any tips, any tricks. But then I had to realize, you know what, this isn't a trick situation. You can get some tips, but it ain't a trick situation. You can't trick your body into doing the right things. You can't trick your mind into doing the right things. So I had to just learn and check my own self, because myself was tearing up myself, and myself was at 315 pounds at my highest, and them 315 just didn't feel good. And honestly, like when I was talking to my doctor, my original, like, what they call them, family practitioners, or like family doctor, about having surgery, he was just like, oh no, you don't need that. He was like, look at you. You have a beautiful shape. You're not as healthy, but it's something that I feel like you could get if you work hard at it. Look here, mister. Look, I have been overweight all of my natural life. All of it. There was not a time, let's see, after high school, that I was rocking the right BMI ever. Except for, I can only say, when I was like extremely, extremely sick with my second child. Now I lost 62 pounds. I got like down to 215. And my doctor was just mad as hell, because he was like, you shouldn't be losing weight like this, not pregnant. But I did. I got over it, and boy, did it come back. It came back and then some. But that's down memory lane. Don't even need to go down there, because can't get pregnant no more. But he was just explaining that he felt that I could do this without it. And I probably could have. Would it have stayed? No. No. Would I have been as conscious about what I was eating? Probably not. Like now, I've had one piece of cake in 3 months, and not even a whole piece. I've had junk food, that one night that I went to the hospital, and that was like, okay, in the month of January, that was my first time ever falling off like that. Other than that, I used my fruit and my glazed nuts to kind of, keep me satisfied, and my pomegranate fusion juice. Those keep me from like wanting soda or sweets or candy. Every blue moon I may want. But then I think about it and I'm just like, this is going to go in all the places that you don't want it to go. But I think that I'm doing well. I was a little bit upset because of the situation of the hernia. I was just like, oh my God, I have a hernia. I have a hernia. I have a hernia. It's not pretty neither, but it's going to be fixed. It's going to get better. hopefully this time it'll take to where I'll actually be able to work out again. I know my doctor said that I shouldn't work out. I'm going to try and do something, but he was just like, or, well, excuse me, she was explaining, oh, well, you don't want to strain it. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. Now it's just like, dang, if I mess this up, I'm going to be messed up. And I ain't trying to be messed up. So take a couple of weeks off, make it really simple, really light, and I think I'm going to be okay. Well, take that back. I know I'm going to be fine. I have the grace of God over me, so I know I'm going to be fine. But I just had to get that little bit out. It made me feel better because the other night I was like over the top teed off. And then, of course, me being the person that I am, I didn't want to tell my kids, but I had to tell them. So I told them, and they were a little bit worried. They was just like, "Mama, what's gonna happen?" Don't worry, don't worry. All you gotta do is pray for me. That's all you gotta do. Just ask God to watch over me, and He'll make sure it happens. So this was me getting all out what I had to get out, and oh my gosh, this thing is like 30 minutes freaking long. I'm so sorry it's that long. I probably won't even publish this, but if I do ever in life, if I ever do, this was my little bit of rant and rave and dealing with what I'm dealing with, and I don't know. Maybe I'll show it to you. I don't know. I don't like it. It's not pretty. But I'm finna go. I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to work in the morning. And it is 11:30. I will see y'all later.